Putin has increased Russian border patrols in response to incursions. To facilitate fast movement of Russian military and civilians into Ukrainian regions now under Moscow control, President Vladimir Putin has ordered strengthened border security. In a message of congratulations for Border Guard Day, Putin said that the mission of the Border Service, which is part of Russia's Federal Security Service, FSB, is to reliably cover the lines near the combat zone. Drone strikes along the border and deeper inside Russia, such as Saturday's attack on an oil pipeline northwest of Moscow, have increased in frequency and intensity in recent weeks. Putin said in a message posted to the Kremlin's Telegram channel, "It is necessary to ensure the fast movement of both military and civilian vehicles and cargo, including food, humanitarian aid building materials sent to the new subjects of the Russian Federation." Putin declared 4 Ukrainian regions annexed last September, following what Kyiv called sham referendums: Kherson, Zaporizhia, Luhansk, and Donetsk. The 4 areas are only partially under Russian control. Officials reported 3 casualties on Saturday from Ukrainian shelling in Belgorod, a region targeted by pro-Ukrainian fighters this week that has raised questions about Russia's defensive strength. Power, rail, and military infrastructure have been attacked most frequently in the Russian regions of Kursk and Belgorod that border Ukraine, with local officials blaming Ukraine. Kyiv has said that the destruction of infrastructure is a prelude to its planned ground assault, which is an unusually public admission of responsibility for attacks inside Russia and on Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine. The conflict, which has killed thousands and reduced Ukrainian cities to rubble, has lasted for 15 months. On Saturday, Ukraine signaled that it was prepared to launch a long-promised counter-offensive to recapture territory taken by Russia. Attack by drones. The governor of Russia's western Pskov region said on Saturday that 2 drones had damaged the oil pipeline administration building. The explosion is the most recent in a growing number of attacks in Russia as the offensive in Ukraine continues. Early this morning, an explosion damaged the administrative building of the oil pipeline near Litvinovo, Nevelsky district, Governor Mikhail Vadernikov said. Then, not long after, he reported that initial reports indicated the structure had been damaged as a result of an attack by 2 unmanned aerial vehicles. No casualties were reported, and authorities were still looking into the situation. The village of Litvinovo, located roughly 10 kilometers (6.2 miles) from the Belarusian border, was the site of the explosion. The Transneft oil pumping station in Pskov was reportedly the target of the drone attacks, according to unverified reports from Baza, a Russian telegram outlet with sources in the secret services. Baza also reported an attack on an oil refinery in the western Tver region, close to the town of Arokino. The press service for the Tver region reported that a drone had gone down in the area of Arokino, but did not provide any further information. There have been numerous reports of drone attacks in Russia in recent weeks, most frequently in areas bordering Ukraine. Krasnodar, a city in southern Russia that had been relatively unscathed up until Friday, was hit by 2 drones, damaging buildings in the city center. Moscow has blamed Kyiv, along with its Western backers, for the rising tide of attacks and sabotage operations, some of which have been directed at the Kremlin. Ukraine says it had nothing to do with it. After reporting dozens of Ukrainian strikes the day before, the governor of Belgorod's region said on Saturday that his region had come under fire again. According to Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov, no one was hurt in the shelling that occurred in Shebekino, which is about 7 kilometers (4 miles) from the Ukrainian border. This week, Russia used troops and artillery to put down an unprecedented 2-day incursion from Ukraine.